So essentially the vibe that you have here is, it wasn't manufactured at all. It was just a natural progression.
Yeah, it's not
you
manufactured.
expressing what you grew up with, where you, because you have quite a large range of mixture in your bloodline. You have Jawi, which we mentioned. Then you have the Arab, Persian,
Pakistani,
and there was one Punjabi. Was it?
Punjabi,
Oh, okay.
and on my father's side, the local Malays from Kedah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it is quite interesting, I guess, when you look at it that way. And the food itself is quite well balanced in the sense that it's not too strong on spices. It's not too heavy on like very strong Southeast Asian ingredients.
Yeah.
It's balanced a little bit with coconut milk and other ingredients that make it more appealing to a wider range of people.
Yeah.
Sometimes like Thai food can be a bit strong.
That's true. That's true.
Indian
especially
food can be a bit strong. So we kind of balance it out, and it appeals to more people.
So as a chef, you obviously learned various different culinary tips and tricks and styles and methods, right?
Yeah.
Is there a different style altogether when it comes to our food compared to like say Western or?
Definitely. I mean, most formal culinary training leans mainly on French heritage.
Yeah.
Right, or European styles, and Asian cooking is definitely a whole different ballgame. Like, even though I had experience, but coming back I had to relearn a lot of things. So I think Asian cooking or Malay cooking is way more labor intensive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of peeling and cutting and things like that, rather than
French, which is a lot of dicing,
yeah,
onions.
and French cooking is very stock based. You have a stock or sauce, and you really concentrate that sauce in whatever you're doing.
Hence why they have sous chefs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So sous chef just means the secondary chef. But in terms of Asian cooking, it's very, everything needs to blend together very nicely. There's no sieving of ingredients and extracting flavors. It's more of like cooking everything together and let the ingredients melt together and develop over a few hours of cooking, rather than segmenting some ingredients and concentrating their flavors. Everything is together and is cooked like in a gravy or in a very rich sauce or curry and things like that. Yeah.
Did you ever, at any point with your culinary knowledge, come across a recipe and they were like, agak, and you had to find a way to quantify it, to scale it up, obviously,
Yeah.
as a restaurant.
Yeah.
So how did you do that? Was it more like a journey? You're like, okay, how many cups is really going into this?
Yeah, I think like home cooking is like that, right? But when you're cooking in a business setting, you have to standardize things. So that's when the formal training comes in, and then you just measure things out as much as you can and make sure that it is consistent. But most recipes start from this agak thing, and even now there is a recipe as a guideline, but the final adjustments and the final tasting still is up to the fine-tuning of myself or the cooks who are responsible cooking those dishes. Yeah.
I'm sure you have a staff of people?
Yeah, I have a great team. Yeah, so
looking at the food, you definitely have a great team.
yeah, and that's also why we published the Feast of Penang book, because like you said, a lot of these recipes are just passed down through word of mouth, or from grandmother to mother to daughter. So the only way we could really get these recipes to have it as a tangible source of information or reference is by measuring these things out.
So this is the book that you
This is
Feast
the
of
book,
Penang. Wow.
and it does have fairly good ratios or guides, rather than a pinch of this and a pinch of that. We try to metric measure things as much as you can, but also any cook or any chef or home cook, it's always up to them, right? In the end of the day, the recipe is just a guide. You have in your mind what you want to achieve as the end product, and you work your way towards that in terms of how you feel is right. Yeah.